Welcome to this explainer. We're diving right into a story today that is literally thousands of years old, but somehow it speaks directly to the exact challenges you and I face every single morning. We're exploring the Eternal Ascent, embracing the absurdity of Sisyphus. Let's get right to it. So, does life ever feel like an endless repeating struggle? You know the feeling. You wake up, you clear out that inbox, you pay the bills, do the chores, finally get some sleep, and then the very next day, bam, the inbox is packed again and the laundry's piled up. It's so incredibly easy to look at our daily routines and just feel this heavy sense of burnout or sheer repetition. We kind of tend to think of this as a purely modern problem, right? Like it's just a symptom of today's hustle culture. But as our source material reveals, this feeling of an endless loop, it's a deeply human experience. In fact, it's one the ancient Greeks understood and codified perfectly. Section 1. The Eternal Punishment. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand the profound philosophy we're talking about, we first have to look at the literal facts of the myth itself. So we're dealing with a king named Sisyphus, and Sisyphus made a very, very powerful enemy in Hades, the god of the underworld. Why? Well, because Sisyphus committed an incredibly audacious crime. He cheated death. And he didn't just do it once. No, he defied the ultimate unavoidable rule of human existence exactly twice. For outsmarting the gods and disrupting the natural order of things, Hades designed what he genuinely believed to be the ultimate unbreakable punishment. And this brilliantly illustrates what that punishment was. Hades forced Sisyphus to roll an immense, unbelievably heavy boulder up a steep hill. Step 1 is just grueling physical labor. Then step 2, he nears the top, he can actually see the summit. But then comes step 3, the cruel catch. The boulder inevitably rolls all the way back down to the bottom. Step 4, repeat for eternity. The gods basically figured that there was no more dreadful punishment than futile, hopeless labor. It's this bleak, seemingly escapable loop that demands absolutely everything you have but accomplishes nothing. Zero. Now, for centuries, this was viewed as just a standard cautionary tale, right? A warning about not crossing the gods. But our source text challenges us to look at this loop through a completely different lens. I want to ask you, right now, to look past that assumed despair of the punishment. We are initiating a paradigm shift here. We're stripping away the misery to find a hidden, absolutely profound triumph in this exact scenario. Think about it. What if Sisyphus isn't just a victim to be pitied? Section 2. Embracing the absurd. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it brings us to the philosophical core of our explainer. We're shifting the narrative away from a cursed Greek king and turning it into a direct reflection of your own life and your daily routines. To do this, we really have to understand a concept called the absurd. This is basically defined as the acceptance that the universe has no inherent meaning or reason. The universe honestly doesn't care about our perfectly laid plans, and it definitely doesn't guarantee fairness. Our source text explains that when we truly accept this, when we stop waiting around for the universe to hand us some grand prepackaged purpose, we are suddenly completely free of artificial expectations. We stop measuring ourselves against what we're supposed to achieve, and we start focusing on what is actually in our control. And that brings us to the true moral of the myth. There is no greater meaning in life but what we give it. Think about Sisyphus's boulder. It has no point. Pushing it up a hill doesn't build a pyramid, it doesn't save a city, it is literally just a heavy rock. But the sheer act of pushing it, the intense dedication to the climb, that is exactly where Sisyphus finds his meaning. The moral is entirely about total personal agency. We are the ones who assign meaning to our endless climbs. So whether your boulder is your career, your family, your art, or just your own personal growth, the universe is never going to validate it for you. You have to validate it yourself. Section 3, fulfilling your potential. Let's move to and see how this builds into our everyday lives. How do we actually apply Sisyphus's mindset to our own modern struggles to build absolute resilience? Well, the source text gives us some specific, uncompromising mandates. First, never give in to circumstantial disappointments. The boulder rolled down? Well, that's just a circumstance. It absolutely does not define your worth. Second, stop trying to escape from failures. You literally can't avoid the boulder rolling down sometimes. It's just part of the system. And third, accept your losses and keep striving. Sisyphus watches his immense work get undone, yet what does he do? He walks right back down the hill and starts pushing again. The text provides a powerful, almost counterintuitive directive here. We have to accept our failures with the exact same grace as our achievements. Just pause and think about how radical that actually is for a second. We usually throw a party for our achievements and completely hide from our failures. But if the universe is absurd and true meaning is found only in the effort we put in, then the outcome, Whether that boulder stays at the top or comes crashing back down is entirely secondary. The failure is literally just another step in the process. When you can balance your view of failures and achievements with perfect neutrality, you remove the sting from the struggle. You become, for all intents and purposes, virtually unstoppable. So the crucial point is this quote: "No matter how much we lose in our quest, we must never back down till we fulfill our potential." This is the ultimate empowering message. Your potential isn't measured by whether you permanently beat the system or whether that boulder miraculously stays at the top of the hill forever. No way. Your potential is measured by your absolute refusal to quit, by your willingness to walk back down to the very bottom, place your hands on that rough stone, and push again. It's about an unyielding commitment to the effort itself, regardless of whatever you might lose along the way. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. How will you push your boulder today to fulfill your true potential? The struggle, that's guaranteed. The routine is definitely going to repeat. The boulder will always roll back down in one way or another. But the meaning, the joy, and the fulfillment of the climb, those are entirely up to you. Don't back down on your own quest. Embrace the absurdity, find your hill, and start pushing.